Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I kind of want to change things up a bit and discuss a little bit about something I'm noticing in the modern gaming era. I can't wait to read the comments on this one. So grab a warm beverage, grab a seat on your nice warm sofa, and let's get into this. Also, stick around because I have some exciting news at the end of the video. So, the topic of today is all about the modern era of gaming and why sequels are so tough to sell these days. This might sound like a rant video, and half of it is that, but the other half is more about how video games are becoming more mainstream now and what that leads to. So let's start off with the price tag of most of these games. Nowadays, right? That price is $60 and you expect a minimum of 8 hours of gameplay for that price, minus patches and DLC that follows from the launch. That's fine. I don't expect to blast through in one sitting, but mind you, nowadays the problem I'm seeing is that after I'm done with my 8 hours or so, I expect the story to end. I don't want to know what happens to the main characters afterwards. I just want to use my imagination to draw up the best possible scenario and call it a day. To be honest with you all, really, I don't expect every game to have a sequel or prequel, but it seems to be all the rage regardless. So let's take Halo Reach for example, which is what you're seeing. Halo Reach was a prequel of a game called Halo Combat Evolved that ended on a high note. For those who already know the story of Halo and don't need a refresher, the Flood were destroyed, as well as a doomsday weapon that threatened to destroy the whole universe, leaving you, the Master Chief, and your companion AI construct Cortana safe and sound, able to escape back to Earth. That's it for me. I don't know about you guys, but I thought back at the time when I was like 9 or 10 years old that I wasn't going to see a Halo 2. I thought that was a great ending because now, now I know the Master Chief is going to be a hero back on Earth, and everyone is going to know that the Halo rings were designed by an ancient civilization known as the Forerunners to destroy the Flood in case they were released from hibernation. But now, instead, something happened. Halo 2 was released, and I was like a little kid on Christmas morning, again reliving the nostalgia of playing something new again for the first time. But fast forward today, and now we have the Master Chief Collection. That's a set of 5 games starring the Master Chief all the way from Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo ODST, which weirdly departed from the Master Chief. Maybe Bungie just needed a break. And then lastly, Halo 4. I know what you're thinking, right? I know some of these sequels were really good, and where would we be without that cliffhanger ending in Halo 3? Well, I think we would be better off. So, now, let's touch briefly on the point of this video because I still want to give you some prime examples of sequel fatigue. The point I'm trying to make is that, my imagination can sometimes do better than some of these sequels, and I don't even know about your imagination. I don't want to see what happened to the Master Chief after he arrived on Earth because I kinda already knew what was gonna happen. I actually had a higher expectation than what Halo 2 gave me, to be honest. I thought when Cortana said just dust and echoes that it was a call sign for another squad that would regroup with the Chief and search for survivors on the planet that orbited the Halo ring. I kept seeing that planet there, and I thought, wow, wouldn't it be cool if we landed on that planet and there are like survivors, like say Sergeant Johnson? Instead, we skipped all of that and landed on Earth instead, right off the bat, and didn't get to see how the Master Chief got there. So, my problem is, before we go back to Earth, let's see, what a totally new and alien planet would look like in the eyes of a developer like Bungie. I hope you're starting to see, right, why sequels are hurting my imagination and probably yours too. I actually want to shift gears a little bit because we're going to talk about something else that's sort of similar. But what I want to talk about now with you is the concept of the happily ever after. So to me, happily ever after is just a stopping point where storytellers learn to pause and reflect on what they just wrote. It leaves things up to your imagination because no story can last forever. Although in the real world there really is no happily ever after. There is happily ever after, and then there's the next day. And on the next day, anything could happen. That's exactly why sequels hurt so much, because now there's a certainty as to what happened next. I know everybody's gonna hate me for this, but I think Frozen, the movie, didn't need a sequel. It was good the way it was. Olaf didn't melt, Anna gets Kristoff a new sled, and love prevails, while Elsa learns to cope with her powers to help rather than hurt the kingdom she's been born into. Together, Elsa and her sister live independent of their neighboring kingdom, Weaselton, and it's all perfect. But that's it. I didn't even want to see a sequel to that, and they made one anyway. Halo is kind of the same way. I didn't want to know what the Forerunners were and how they fought humanity in a distant past and were banished away. I didn't want to know how the flood came about. I just wanted to know that they were failed experiments and didn't bode well for the rest of Earth's inhabitants if they ever came in contact. I didn't even want to learn about Halo Reach that much because, I already knew from the beginning of Halo that humanity was losing the war against an unstoppable alien armada. And that made me appreciate the Master Chief even more because he stopped them by the end of Halo 1. So, now do you see what I mean? I think sequels are only important because they give us a reason to reinvest in a continuing story, but sometimes it's not worth it. Nowadays I choose wisely, and hopefully I want to continue this subject on a different series, so that you can get a better idea of what I mean. But for now, I just want to table the discussion, and I'll put it back in your court. So today's query of the day is, which game did you play, or even a movie, that didn't exactly need a sequel, but got one anyway? Leave a comment, let me know why you think so. So, now that we're at the end of the video, I want to just tell my fans out there that I got a PS5 and an Xbox Series X. But I'm really excited to show you all about the next gen. I had talked about it in previous videos, and hopefully I'll have some high quality gameplay to keep you guys all impressed. But let me know if there's any games that I should pick up. But maybe, like I should stick around and stick with what I'm good at, which is mainly shooters like Call of Duty. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, consider liking and subscribing for more content. But in the meantime, hope everyone has a good weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.
Enemy sighted. door. There's no way back up to the Sabres. Level 6, form up on me.
Distance is closing on this vessel's refueling track with the Covenant supercarrier. 76 seconds to endpoint.
So, it's gonna be like mad. Well, I got good news and bad news. This bird took some fire and our thruster gimbal is toast, which means the only way off this slag heap is gravity.
And the good news?
That was the good news.
At current velocity, 53 seconds to endpoint.
Yeah. Bad news is, time is fried. I'm gonna have to fire it manually.
That's a one-way trip.
We all make it sooner or later. Better get going, Six. They're gonna need you down there. Listen, Reach has been good to me. The time has come to return the favor. Don't deny me this. Tell him to make it count.
Slip space rupture detected.
Gamma station control, reading multiple pings below the orbital defense
Slip
grid.
space rupture detected.
Yeah, we're picking up anomalies too. Are you reading
Slip
it?
space rupture
Multiple
detected.
Covenant signatures.
Slip space
Does anyone
rupture
have a vision?
detected.
They're everywhere!
Slip space
Yeah,
rupture
must be
detected.
the whole damn Covenant
Slip
fleet.
space rupture detected.